Okay, so we've got Ellie Goulding, and I think this was her debut album, which is called Lights. Now, the thing about this project is it was released in a multitude of ways, and she's a European singer, I'm thinking, so came out as Lights, Bright Lights, and then I think there was a copy of Lights that was released in the United States called Lights, but it had an extra song on it, and that's the version that I have. So it's really hard to, obviously I'm thinking if you want like the definitive Ellie Goulding Lights, that there might be a multiple ones to this project to get. So I'm just going to review the first one, and then in the future I will likely review Halcyon. I'm not sure how you would say that, but it's her second album. She's actually, this decade when she came out, she's had a hit. And when I listen to the radio, as far as listening to pop and R&B, somehow I hear her more often than not. She has songs that are on, and I never really know the songs. I remember the song Lights, but I wasn't able to really distinguish songs by her after that. And so I'm going to start paying attention to this person more. Kind of what I see this as is she has like a real breathy voice. It's airy, and also there's just a lot of emphasis on the speak that goes into it more than the words. So that's what you get from her. But also the attitude of the project is a lot lighter than several things I've reviewed on this channel. But I still think it's important just because, this music, it's there's something, I mean, you can't take the energy from it. That's really the thing. It keeps you pretty much, it's something that will keep a smile on your face when you listen to this music. So, but as far as being a standard R&B project, this is not really that. I don't really see it as much as there being a club song or a huge dance record, but there is some. I mean, it's pretty lively at times. So we'll get into that. The production, from what I've seen, the thing is, I like the song Animal and Your Salt Skin, and there was one other song I liked. I can't remember. I think it probably was Animal. And of course, I like the biggest charting song on this record, Lights. And Starry Eyed was pretty energetic too. So those are some good ones. I feel like Every Time You Go was a close one. There's 11 songs on the version that I have. So after the song Salt Skin, song number 11 is Your Song, which should let you know which version of the album I have. So the Unheard Songs, which are songs you may not have heard but need to take a listen to. There was 5 songs on this project that I liked, in addition to one song I was on the fence about. So the 5 songs I liked were Lights, Starry Eyed, Under the Sheets, Animal, and Salt Skin. Now all of these, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard Lights if you listen to the radio at all over the past several years. And Starry Eyed is a pretty much another one like that, but it's not as catchy. I mean, it's a great song, but somehow the just perfect single adaptation that Lights had is missing. So which is probably the reason why we didn't hear it that much. But remember, in Europe, she was a lot bigger. She had multiple charting songs from this project, and that song was one of them, Starry Eyed. There were a couple other ones. Animal has influences of electronic music to it. Kind of does, what David Guetta and a few more of those cats are known for. I want to say Calvin Harris. There is Under the Sheets, which is, that one just feels good. That one, there's something about it. It's hard to describe. It's R&B, but it's not necessarily a dance record. So, you get like singing music, pop music, but when it's not focused on the club, but it's also not a ballad. This was a strange aspect for me because I wasn't expecting it, but seeing that she did pull this off, I was liking that. And Salt Skin was the last one. That one really that was probably one of the better produced songs on this album. Lights is of course one of the best, but Salt Skin is definitely great. So is Animal. So otherwise, things do get slowed down, and also it kind of takes a more serious and uh, responsible attitude as far as what goes on. And when that happens, you may lose some of the steam once things calm down. But as a whole, this is a pretty nutritious project. It's really got nutrients of a fun record that could probably last you in your ride for a while. Now, of course, 6 years after this album came out, really she has other projects that you can do, that you can listen to. But this one, I remember hearing the song and I figured, well, what else? I don't remember hearing other songs from this project. So that's what I thought of that. And I'm going to give this album, because I like 6 out of 11, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And The Future, she dropped an album last fall. So we're getting to the point where it's almost spring of 2016. So fall of 2015, she dropped this. The Social Score, which is how well it plays around you and other people, you and a group of people you're with. I would think I'm gonna give this album a 5, just because the approach that this album has is not as clear as day as some of the other ones. Like when you think of like Katy Perry or something, or Taylor Swift, she's not, the full bravado that she has. She's not quite as much of a household name, and a lot of her songs don't tackle formats that would get people introduced to her. So that's something. I don't even remember what I just said. I think I said 5.5, maybe 5. So that's the thing. I mean, you kind of have to be into music in order to discover this person. And she's, if you're in the United States, you may not know her as well as people do out on the east side of the world. So those are a couple things. But yeah, can't be topped. I think this is pretty rock solid. I mean, it's got songs on here that work, and it's surprising because it doesn't fall into the pop album trap of its ballads and club songs. So it's a surprise, and its originality is what really wins. So I give this album a 6.5 out of 10 and a 5 out of 10 social. Subscribe for more fun.